If you're sailing on a Disney cruise this summer, your booking window for your bookable activities is about to open, or maybe it is even open. And if you are not prioritizing the right things to book, you could be missing out on magic for your Disney cruise. But wait, what are these bookable activities? What is this booking window? When does it open? And do I really need to book anything extra on top of my standard Disney cruise? Well, fear not. In this video, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about bookable extras, how to book them, which ones you should book, and whether you should bother. If you're new around here, hi, my name's Rhiannon Morgan. Everyone calls me Rhi. Welcome to my Magical Adventures channel, where you'll find all things Disney cruise, Disney parks, and more magical adventures beyond Disney too. We are big fans of the Disney Cruise Line in our family, and we actually have another Disney cruise coming up this summer. We are sailing on the Fantasy. Yes, it is very exciting. And this video is a little bit different to how I would normally do my bookable extras video. Normally, I would get up and vlog the experience and share it all with you in real time. And that is normally an early start because the bookable activities window opens for your Disney cruise at 5 a.m. here in the UK, which would be midnight Florida time. Normally myself and my son, William, also known as Wikipedia, would get up and share all of that with you. However, on the particular day that our bookable window opened, my youngest daughter was very poorly, so I did what most normal people would probably do and do this whole experience on my laptop from bed in my pajamas. So this is now several days after I've actually booked our bookable activities, and I'm going to talk you through the whole process. So you're not missing out on anything, but in case you're wondering why it's a bit weird compared to my normal videos, that would be why. So we know it opens at 5 a.m. in the UK, but when, Rhi? When does the bookable window open? Well, that depends on your Castaway Club status. The Castaway Club is Disney Cruise Line's loyalty scheme, and as soon as you step back on shore, having completed your first Disney cruise, you are in the club as a silver Castaway Club member. The more Disney cruises you complete, the further up the Castaway Club you move through gold, platinum, and eventually to pearl. And the higher up the Castaway Club you are, the earlier you can book your bookable activities, and therefore the more options you're going to have and the more likely you're going to be able to get those really sought after bookable activities that are really quite hard to come by. You can find all the details about the Castaway Club on the Disney Cruise Line website and also inside of your magical cruise planner. This is the best way to make sure you've planned out everything you need to know for your Disney cruise. Everything from picking the ship, making sure you don't miss any of the dates that you need for payments, to sorting your bookable activities, to outfit planning, packing, and planning your cruise day by day. It is all in here. I'll put the details below for you to grab your physical or digital download copy, so you can start planning straight away. So if you turn to the important cruise date section of your planner, you'll see the higher Castaway Club tier members will actually get the opportunity to book cruises earlier than the general public too. So that means you get a little bit more of an option in which stateroom you're going to get and potentially get better prices too. Everyone's deposit for the cruise is due within 72 hours of reserving the room. And then access to online planning, which is what we're looking at the moment. First time cruisers, that will be 75 days before you're sailing. Silver Castaway Club members, that's us. This is our last cruise as Silver Castaway Club members. Our booking window opens 90 days before we sail. Now this will be Disney cruise number 5 for us when we step back on land. We're going to be Gold Castaway Club members and we're very excited. As Gold Castaway Club members, then the booking window will open 105 days before sailing, 120 for Platinum, and 123 days before sailing if you are Pearl. You can also do your online check-in earlier the higher up the Castaway Club you are. Now make sure you're subscribed with bell notifications on, because providing my family are all well, we will be doing the online check-in vlog. I would imagine my Wikipedia will get up and do that with me, feeling that I will be here and we will do the online check-in together. I'll take you through it step by step so you know exactly what to do, but I have got a whole playlist of online check-in vlogs so you can check in with me and you can watch those videos before you do your check-in, because there are so many tips I share in there to make sure that you can get the best port arrival time. But for now, let's get back to the bookable activities. I'm now going to take you inside of my screen. I'm going to show you what I can see now that my bookable window has opened. We are sailing on the Disney Fantasy out of Southampton on a 5-night sailing over to Spain. So obviously the activities that are available are going to vary ship to ship, and the port adventures obviously are going to differ depending on where you're actually sailing to. But this will give you a good idea, if your bookable window has not opened yet, the sort of things that might be available to you, and you can have a little think about what you might want to go for, because when that window opens, some of these things get snapped up fast. I was really lucky to get some of the activities that we were hoping for, and if you just watch it till the end of the video, I'll let you know what I've managed to book for our upcoming cruise. Jumping into my screen, just so you know, you are going to have to make sure you've paid for your cruise balance in full before it's going to let you book any onboard activities. You need to sign in with your Disney Cruise Line login and then go to Already Booked and My Reservations. Just so you know, when this reservation window opens, sometimes the website can be a little overloaded and it can be a little slower than normal, so you may have to be patient. Once you've paid in full, there will be this section that says Stateroom Paid, and as the clock strikes midnight over in Florida and it turns 5 a.m. here in the UK, on the day of your bookable activities window opening, this button here will say Book Now. So we're just going to click that and take a little look at what we have got available. By clicking Add Activities and going to Onboard Fun, we're going to start on day one. Now, obviously, day one is embarkation day. So it's a day where I don't personally like to book any activities because I find embarkation day is so chaotic, so busy. It's amazing and it's exciting and it's wonderful, but it's so busy. So I don't personally like to book things in on that day. The first one you've got is the unlimited photo package. If you book this before you embark the cruise, it is $245.95, as opposed to if you book on board, it is $289.95. So there is a bit of a saving. We've had some wonderful photographs from this onboard photo package, so many lovely pictures. I'm the only one that takes photos in my family, so I actually want to be in them. Some of the photos that we've had from these photo packages really are gorgeous. They have photographers whenever there are character meets that you queue for. They have photographers that come around the table. There are often photographers stationed around various points in the ship to take your photo. It's often in front of little displays. I remember there was a life ring one on the Wish that was really cute. We had photos there. So I definitely recommend doing this. It's not an actual activity as such, but you book it under day one and you just book it attached to one of your passengers, and then it will be added to your Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. If you are using Magic Bands, which I highly recommend doing, the Magic Band Plus are amazing. Then you just scan your Magic Band and then the photograph will be added to your account. Failing that, you just scan your Key to the World card, which is your room key card. Moving down now, we've got bourbon tasting. So that is a 60-minute activity. It is age 21 and up, because even though here in the UK the drinking age is 18, then in America obviously it's 21, and that's the age that you've got to be to drink on a Disney cruise, as in alcohol. So that one is $50 for a 60-minute session. There is a champagne tasting, that's 60 minutes, and that's a $70 charge, again age 21 and up. A Kickstart Your Day beverage tasting, that's 30 minutes for $40. There's an option for mojito and caipirinha tasting. Sounds delicious. Someone at my door. Hang on. Apologies. That was the postman bringing some clothes for me that I need to film a Disney bound outfit ideas video for you guys. That will be coming your way soon. So look out for that. So there's a Prima Notte at Palo. That's on deck 12. This is tasting wines complemented with curated bite-sized delicacies. So that's more like a food and wine tasting. Then we've got a rum tasting, that's $45. We've never done any of these specific tastings before. However, we have done a wine tasting, which was held in the Pink Champagne Bar on the Disney Dream. That was a really fun experience. The cast member that led the session was so knowledgeable. I tried some wines I wouldn't normally try and learned quite a lot actually, because I do enjoy wine, but I've got to admit, before that, I didn't know a great deal about it. Rum tasting, that's 60 minutes, $45 each. And then we've got Shutter's Portrait Studio. This is a 30-minute complimentary session, but you would obviously be charged for the photographs. There's no sitting fee and no obligation to purchase, so that's something you might want to consider. They have got the golf simulator. That's a 30-minute session. Now, it is currently sold out. That was available to book when I logged in at the time that our booking window was open, as was the sports simulator. So I'll just click in to show you. The Goofy's golf simulator Will actually did on the last Disney cruise when we did the Dream. He also did the sports simulator. So the golf simulator was $28 for the session and the sports deck was $13. Now, unfortunately, when Will did those sessions on the Dream, they were glitching all the time and they ended up refunding the session. So he enjoyed it, but he didn't have the perfect experience because at the time it wasn't working amazingly well. Let's go on to the next day and have a look. This is a sea day. So there are not going to be any port adventures, obviously, because there is no port. It is a sea day. So onboard activities options, we've got beer tasting. You've got to be over the age of 21 again to do any of the alcoholic sessions. That's $45 for a 60-minute session. And the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique makeovers. These are amazing. My girls have done the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique twice, once on the Disney Wish and once on the Disney Dream, and they've absolutely loved it both times. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique makeovers, I'm guessing by now, are going to be sold out. That's what my money's on, because normally these sell out almost immediately. So let's just check availability and take a look. Select a time. Gosh, maybe I can still book Bibbidi Bobbidi even this far after. Is that right? Gosh, I'm in shock. If I can actually book this, I'm in shock. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. I am absolutely in shock. Normally the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique appointments sell out so fast. Our cruise booking window opened 6 days ago and they still have Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique appointments available. I'm absolutely in shock. Okay. I'm in shock. Now, I'm actually going to cancel that, free it up for someone else, because my girls are not doing Bibbidi Bobbidi this time, because we are doing something else, which will stay tuned. I'll let you know at the end. Okay, more onboard fun options. Some of these are quite similar to the ones we saw on the first day, so we'll just skim through. We've got the beer tasting, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which is still available, amazing. The champagne tasting, a chocolate and liqueur tasting, a martini tasting, mixology. Now, I believe mixology is a little bit more about getting involved in actually making the drinks, so that would be kind of fun, and that's something a little bit different to just the straight seminars. That's 60 minutes for a $45 price ticket. And then again, a repeat of the mojito and caipirinha tasting. The Royal Gathering is actually included in the price of your cruise, but you do have to book it, and that is 30 days before sailing for everyone. So regardless of your Castaway Club status, you've got to log in 30 days before you're sailing, again at 5 a.m. to book that. So that's something you really need to set your calendars for, set your alarms for, get it in your cruise planner. Always make sure you've got the dates in there, so that you do not miss booking that in a separate booking window. It's another option for Shutter's Portrait Studio. Stem to stern wine tasting. This is actually the one we did. It wasn't a wine tasting, it was a stem to stern wine tasting, which I actually was under the impression that meant we were moving from bar to bar. It was not, it was just all in one, but it was still loads of fun. Tequila and margarita tasting, that's 60 minutes, $45. Whiskey, World of Gin, and then again, you've got the golf simulator, Royal Court Royalty, which is sold out. That is a special princess experience. That is a 90-minute session. Anyone aged 3 to 12, that will be $250 or £75 for someone aged 13 and up. The children will have to have an adult with them, so you have to pay that $75 for the person that is supervising. And it's a feast. It just sounds magical. We've not done it before. Everyone that has done it has absolutely loved it. So if we just change day very quickly, we're going to go to day 3 and just look at a few more onboard activities before we skip to actual port adventures to take a look at those. Onboard fun again, we've got the bourbon tasting, golf, mojitos, pretty similar stuff. This, of course, does not include the adult-only dining. That's a separate section, and we will look at that separately. So on day 4, there's an option for cognac tasting. Not sure we've seen that one yet. Golf simulator again. Golf simulator, interestingly, is not sold out on day 4 at the moment. Shutter's Portrait Studio. Again, it does look like you could book the sports simulator or Goofy Golf for day 4. So that's really interesting to see. And then you've got the whiskey tasting and the World of Gin. And then day 5 is the final full day of the cruise, because on the last day it really is get up, have your breakfast, and off the ship you go. Interestingly, you can still book the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Oh, guys, I am absolutely in shock that they've still got appointments available. That's amazing. I don't know whether they've made more appointments available. So there's beer tasting, Bibbidi Bobbidi, bourbon, champagne, chocolate and liqueur, golf, martini, mixology. There's another Royal Court Royal Tea, which, hang on, hold the phone. There's still availability for Royal Court Royal Tea. Wow. Again, I'm in shock because that one normally sells out so fast. The Royal Gathering we can't book yet, but they are doing 2 Royal Gatherings on this sailing. And again, they've got doubled up of stem to stern, tequila, sports simulator is sold out on that day at this stage, and that's 6 days after the booking window opens. Okay, so observation on the onboard fund before we move on to the next section, of which we're going to look at port adventures and then adult only dining before I let you know what we've booked. And my observation is that I can't see any pirate makeovers in the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And this is not a good sign, people. Previous years, previous cruises, on Pirate Night, we've known which night Pirate Night was going to be because they've listed Pirate Night makeovers in the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique on those days. So there's one or two things happening here. Either they're not offering pirate makeovers in the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique on Pirate Night, which is unfortunate, but for our family, I can't see it's something that my kids would be that interested in doing, so not the end of the world. Or the option I'm really hoping it's not, which is there's no Pirate Night on this cruise, because we love Pirate Night. If you've not seen my Pirate Night vlogs, Pirate Night on Disney Cruise is something really special. It's so magical. So yeah, we're just going to keep everything crossed that it just means they're not doing Pirate Night makeovers and they're still doing Pirate Night. But watch this space. I'll let you know when I have more information. Okay, now let's look at, spa and fitness. We forgot about spa and fitness. We'll look at that briefly. So on day 1, they've got these options for spa and fitness. It's 150-minute villa for 2 appointment. What's that all about? An aroma spa seaweed massage, soothing session, and then choose your treatments. Massage, that sounds amazing. But again, I mean, for me, first day of the cruise, there's plenty to do. My children want to run around and do it all. It's a bonkers day. As lovely as it sounds to the idea of spending 150 minutes in the spa, it's not something I'm going to be doing on the first day. There's a manicure appointment available, prices starting from $59, facials, 50-minute massage for 2, and there's fitness appointments. Now you can access the fitness center for free, but if you want training, as in a fitness appointment, then that's an added extra. There's a pedicure, salon appointments, massage, acupuncture, and then there is a rainforest length of the cruise pass. Now, this is something I'm considering doing, okay? This is access to the rainforest room for the length of the cruise, and it is $119. Now you can get a day pass on board, so maybe that would be better for us to do, because really, am I going to use it every day? Realistically, probably not. But if this is something you'd be interested in, it's something you can book online before you go. And then there's a rejuvenation spa consultation. Now, each of these days, I'm guessing are going to be pretty similar. I doubt there are going to be very big differences in the different appointments that you could get each day. We'll just take a very quick look. Oh, hang on, no, they have got facials on day 2, 100-minute massage or facial. So there are slight differences, but you get the general gist of the kind of thing that is available. Going back, let's look at port adventures, which obviously we're only going to look at on day 3 and day 4 when the ship is actually at port. Now, something to bear in mind that I think a lot of people don't know when they go on their first Disney cruise is that if your ship is not docking right in the center of the action, Disney Cruise Line will put on a bus to take you from where it docks, and often the docks are very much sort of down the docks, as in not in the center of a really pretty town or something. Sometimes it is just a very industrial dock, but they will put on a bus to take you to all the lovely pretty stuff that you want to see. So don't feel that you have to book a port adventure in order to experience the port. You don't have to. Some of the ports, like I say, they're a bit industrial. You get off and you get on a bus and then you go to where you want to be. Other places, like the port that we got off last year, which was Vigo, I believe, on our last cruise, the ship was right there. We got off, we just had a little wander around. It was really nice. We could still see the ship. You know, you're not going to be late for the all aboard time. But we have not yet done port adventures. Let's take a look through these and see if there's anything we fancy doing. Some sightseeing things. This is 4.5 to 5 hours, $89 each for age 3 to 9, or $124 for age 10 and up. cheese and wine and history. There's lots of information about the exact accessibility and things that is going to be relevant for the excursion. This is especially relevant if you've got mobility issues. It'll always tell you if there is uneven terrain, whether it's suitable for wheelchairs, for scooters, that kind of thing. I'll just scroll through these to show you, because like I said, you can't actually see what is likely to be available until your booking window opens. What I'd probably suggest you do, because bear in mind, you don't actually have to pay for any of these until you get on board. You're not charged from the time of booking them, is I would book the ones that you're thinking about doing and then cancel anything you're not fussed on or you change your mind. So just at that 5 a.m. mark, book anything you think, right, this is a maybe for me, this is a maybe for my family, and then discuss it with your family, and then cancel off what you don't want and free it up for someone else to book, just, you know, during the hours of daylight. So just book too much at 5 a.m. and then cancel what you don't want. So there's a city tour. This is 4 to 4.5 hours. All of these will meet on the ship generally quite early. The big benefit of doing a tour with Disney Cruise Line, or any cruise line for that matter, is that you will not get left behind. If you decide to get off the ship and walk around by yourself and you miss the all aboard time, they will leave you behind. If the all aboard time has gone, they will leave you behind. However, if you're on a tour, it's their responsibility to get you back. So this is less relevant perhaps if you are walking around off your own back, but if you book a third party tour and that tour is late returning and that's really out of your control because you're stuck with someone else bringing you back, then that's potentially going to be really problematic. River rafting looks fun, a little too energetic for us, I think. That's $199 per person. Again, you know, considerations in there, things like really needing to be able to swim properly. Rural Insights, that's a 6 to 6.5 hour tour. Quite a lot of options actually for all of the tours available. Lots and lots of options available here. Just trying to scroll through all of these quickly. Feel free to freeze the screen if I'm scrolling a bit quickly so you can read anything that you want to see. There's a selfie and social media experience. What's that? So that is $79 or $109 for 4 to 4.5 hours, taking you around loads of nice places to take pictures, I guess. So there's a walking and tapas tour. That sounds nice. With enjoying a tour around the attractive port and just taking to all the best places. So you're probably going to have a much better experience with one of these tours than if you just wander around by yourself. We generally get off the ship for a little bit, have a little wander around, take some pictures in front of the ship, and then the children are like, can we get back on the ship now, please? Because we want to go see some more Mickey. Okay, over to the Bilbao, Spain options. Then we're going to have a look at some dining options. I'm going to have a quick chat about some things you probably won't see here. But if you're booking cruises that are heading over to Disney's private island, Castaway Cay, some things that you want to take into account there. So there we go. So we've got an 8 to 8.5 hour tour. My goodness, there's some long tours here. Bilbao, Panoramic and Guggenheim. So you can read through all of these things as soon as your booking window opens, but they will be specific to your cruise. And I really would recommend logging in and booking as soon as you can. I mean, I've got to say the availability, we are nearly a week after my booking window has opened for us silver members. This is not open to the public yet. The public have still got, so we're at 80 odd days, so it's 75 days beforehand that it's open to the general public, so first time cruisers. But there's still really good availability for all these tours, like really, really good availability. And I'm still quite in shock about the availability for the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and the Royal Court Royal Tea. I mean, I've never seen that before. Okay, so there's a Rolls Royce adventure. That is $74 or $144. There is generally a cheaper price for kids and then a more expensive price for adults, unless, of course, you're doing Royal Court Royal Tea. In that case, it's the other way around. And then we've got a monastery hike, scenic highlights of Bilbao tour. That's $99 or $119. 3 more options. There are so many different options for tours. Best of San Sebastian. This is an adults only tour. So a lot of these tours do have options to take your kids. Some of them are adult only and they will indicate which are which. And then the final tour is a sightseeing tour. Right, now let's go back and take a quick look at adult only dining. Okay, so if we go to dining, there are two specific adult only specialty dining options on the Disney Fantasy. You've got Palo and you've got Remy. Both of these options are also on the Disney Dream that we've previously sailed on. We actually did Palo on our last Disney cruise. We absolutely loved it. It was Italian themed food, and Remy is slightly more expensive. So for the first night dinner, it is $50 for Palo and $135 for Remy. This is for the first night dinner. And it gives you a little bit of an indication about the differences. So it's Dress to Impress for Palo, but Remy, it's my understanding, it's a more formal thing. So it's adult exclusive restaurants. Guests are requested to dress in a manner consistent with the restaurant's sophistication. Formal or semi-formal attire is recommended. Also permitted is dress casual attire with a polished look, such as dress pants, jeans, in good condition, collared shirts, dressy tops, lifestyle shoes. Clothing such as t-shirts, swimwear, and sports attire are not permitted. So it's really important to remember that. So there's first night dinner available on the first night, obviously. And then on the sea days, there's also brunches available. Now, obviously, if you are having dinner, then you're going to be doing that instead of your rotational dining. Now, I've got a whole video on rotational dining. Please do check that out afterwards. So the brunch obviously sells out so much quicker. Remy brunch and the Remy dessert are sold out totally. Palo brunch is still available. Wow. Okay. Palo brunch is still available on that first. Okay. Okay. And that's the door again. Hang on. Bear with me. Okay. Seriously, that parcel was not for me. That was for my husband. So that was not helpful. Anyway. No. It looks like Palo's available. It doesn't say sold out, but when you try and click into it, it says sold out. We're sorry, this activity is completely booked. Okay, that's a shame. Never mind. So Palo, and it doesn't, I don't know why they've not marked it as sold out, but it is sold out. You can still book Palo dinner. Now, the difference being Palo brunch is $50, and the big plus is you don't have to give up your rotational dining. Palo dinner is also $50, but for us, we would have to give up rotational dining, which we would normally do with our children. They really love that. And rotational dining is really, really special. So for me, I prefer the brunch option to the dinner. But obviously, if you are not traveling with kids, or if your kids are not that fussed on the dinner and they're happy to just eat deck food and then go to the kids' clubs, then that might be an option for you. Now, if you go on to Port Adventure Days, they don't tend to have brunch for Palo or Remy because they're assuming people are going to get off the ship, which is a shame because we don't always get off the ship, and then that would open up a bit more availability. But no, you've just got dinner options on the Port Adventure Days. And then at the last sea day, let's just take a look at availability. Bear in mind, this is nearly a week after. Nearly a week after the booking window is open for Silver Castaway Club members, and Gold and Pearl have been open for a while. Remy brunch is sold out. Palo brunch, can you get that? Is it going to work? Is it going to work? What do we think? I don't think it is. I think it's going to kick us off, isn't it? Yeah, this activity is completely booked. Okay. Before we have a quick chat about Castaway Cay, I would like to note that the other option that's not available to us because Disney Cruise Line knows we're not traveling with any passengers that are eligible, but the nursery bookings would be done at this stage as well. All the other kids clubs, you can just show up with your kids and they can go in and out as many times as they want. But for the nursery, that is an upcharge, and your kids will need to be booked in for that, and you will need to pay the upcharge for the nursery because that's more specialist, I guess, because it's children that are still in nappies. They'll need that little extra bit of care. Whereas the children age 3 and up that are going to Oceania, Edge or Vibe, that you do not need to book them in, and that is included in your cruise fare. So a brief chat about some things that you won't have seen here, but if you watched my booking my onboard activities for the Disney Wish, you'll know all about. So when you are heading to Castaway Cay, or even the new Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point at Lookout Cay, I can never remember which way around it is. the new Disney location, there will be extras that are snapped up generally by concierge, Pearl and Platinum members. Things like the beach cabanas are really popular and really hard to come by unless you are way up that Castaway Club tier. They are not cheap experiences, but they are very popular and snapped up very quickly. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more water sports type activities if you are in those warmer climates. So if you want to know all about the activities available for the Castaway Cay cruises, then I will link that video down below and you can check out all of those. So now I know you want to know, what have I booked? So for day one, I have booked the Rainforest Length of Cruise Pass. I don't know whether to stick with this or not. It is $119 each, so that's for myself and for my husband. I don't know whether I'm going to cancel that or not, or maybe just book a day pass and just go in for the day. I really can't see myself using it every single day. However, if you're the kind of person that loves that and would be able to use it every single day, then that is probably a pretty good price for that. I have booked the unlimited photo package. I do think this is a really good deal and those photographs are so special. The photographers are great and it's just a really nice way to have really nice, nicely lit, properly framed photos and photos at dinner and things. So I'd say that that's totally worth the money. All those photos can then be downloaded through your phone. Wi-Fi is an optional extra that you would choose on board. You don't need to book that in advance, but you can access some Wi-Fi within the ship. So you can access the basic Disney Cruise Line Navigator app to sort out which activities you've got coming up and to see the other activities. Because bear in mind, when you get on board, there will be a lot more activities than this available for you to do. Even if you book nothing from this, you are not going to be bored on a Disney cruise. There are so many activities to do, so many things to choose from. It's very much choose your own adventure. But you'll be able to access the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app through the free Wi-Fi, even if you don't pay for it. And you'll also be able to look at your photo package through that free Wi-Fi. So all the photos that you will have downloaded to your account. So I have booked Royal Court Royal Tea for the first time. I managed to get that. The girls have never done Royal Court Royal Tea before. Obviously, we've done the princess meets in the atrium before that are included in our cruise. The girls have done Bibbidi Bobbidi twice. We've never done Royal Court Royal Tea. I tried to get it for the last cruise. Something was glitching, and then as soon as I got it to stop glitching, it was sold out. So really excited to do that with them. It is pricey, so it's not something I'd want to do every cruise, and it's definitely not something we need to do first cruise. For our very first Disney cruise, we didn't book anything at all. And in fact, I don't think we booked anything for our second Disney cruise. The first time we did any bookable extras was on our third Disney cruise. The girls did Bibbidi Bobbidi on the Wish. And my husband and Will were supposed to do a port adventure, but as it happens, when we were on the ship, it got cancelled. But it wasn't until our third Disney cruise we booked anything. So if you log on and you don't fancy anything, or you log on and all the things you fancied have gone, do not panic. You're going to have an amazing cruise, I promise you. So we haven't actually booked any official port excursions. I think we're just going to get off the ship at definitely one of the ports. I don't know which port yet. We probably won't get off at both ports. I'm going to have a look at the ports and decide with my kids which one they fancy getting off and having a look around, but we probably won't get off at both of them. And then I've also booked a Remy brunch. So this is really exciting because we've never done Remy before. Remy is French cuisine, and I do prefer, given the option, Italian over French. So I don't know if I'm actually going to enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Palo. But you're just going to have to watch the vlogs and find out. But I'm very excited to try it out, and obviously we'll bring you all along for all the experiences, just to show you everything inside the vlog. So make sure you are subscribed with bell notifications on. You can also join me inside of my Magical Adventures Club if you want to watch some of the vlogs early, because I do get some early access vlogs out before they actually go live on my channel. Plus there's loads more behind the scenes and extra Disney planning bits and pieces in there. So head to mummy4.com/join to join me inside of there. I actually managed to book Royal Court Royal Tea twice, because I booked it once and then I booked it on the other day because I wasn't sure which day we wanted to do it. So I'm going to cancel one of them now, which will free up a Royal Court Royal Tea for somebody. So those are the things that we have booked. You can also book onboard gifts. The one I would absolutely recommend doing, and onboard gifts are not exactly the same as these bookable activities, but they just are a little extra. I did really like the champagne package with the robes. I still wear my Disney Cruise Line fluffy robe that I had in that champagne package every day when I get out the shower. It's amazing. So that's a really good value one. It actually works out better value than just buying a Disney Cruise Line robe in the shop, and you get 2 robes. I think you get a rose, some bubbly and some chocolate. That's really good value, and that's like an onboard gift that you can get sent to your room. The next things that we've got to do for our Disney cruise and our Disney cruise planning. But let me look at the planner. Let's see what we got to do next. We have got to organize some outfits. We've got to do some outfit planning. So I did have some stuff delivered earlier, actually, some things that I'm going to do. I've got a little haul to do to organize some outfits. We love to do some Disney bounding. For our cruise, if you've seen previous videos, we like to just dress in fun ways, okay? Disney bounding, if you don't know what that is, Disney bounding is when you dress not in a costume, but in the style of a Disney character by using colour and fun little accessories to hint at certain characters. Like I had a yellow dress and a green belt to be, Disney bounding is Pluto, that kind of thing. I got loads of fun ideas coming up for this cruise. For that, we like to do like group Disney bounds. So look out for that video coming very soon. The next booking I need to do is the actual online check-in, which is a step-by-step process you have to get through. And then once you've got through that, you can book your port arrival time. And the earlier the port arrival time you get, the quicker you can get on the ship and the magic can begin. So that's really, really exciting. Then after that, obviously I'll have to book the Royal Gathering. And then it's just on the countdown to the cruise, because after that Royal Gathering, it'll just be 30 days until we sail. So you've got all of the outfit planning, the pack with me, and then all of the vlogs to look forward to. So click on screen to do the online check-in with me, or this other video, which is all about outfit planning, or join me inside my Magical Adventures Club for even more magic, and I'll see you over there. Mwah. Bye.